Warning, this video may trigger some of you. All negative comments will be ignored. This is going to trigger you if you are not ready to let go in this particular area, and that's perfectly okay. I just want you to know I am sincerely sharing a revelation that I received, and I also had to shed a lot of what I am explaining to you today. So I come in peace. I am not coming to stir up any controversy, but I do acknowledge this is a deep, painful subject for most of us to deal with. But that is not an excuse for me to personally hold on to anger and hatred, because I'm escaping this matrix. This time, I have no plans to come back here again. Let's get into the video. Hey guys, it's Miss Coconut. How are you doing? I hope that you are feeling well. So yesterday on social media, one of my Facebook friends posted a meme of several white women that had changed their color, meaning skin color. Like, I don't know if they got some injections. I don't know if it's self-tanning. I don't know if it's makeup. I don't know. But a few commenters were stating all over Facebook how this was an appropriation of culture, etc., etc. Now today, I'm not really here to talk about whether this is appropriation or not. What I'm here to talk about is the anger that people were expressing at the actions of virtual strangers. And it made me think about how often we find ourselves trapped in this matrix. See, when we become aware and enlightened and conscious, like we've woken up from the deepest of sleeps, which is basically what the matrix is. It's like you're born into this virtual reality that was designed by some unknown person. We don't know if it was the Anunnaki. We don't know. But we do understand as we begin to have our eyes open to certain things that are happening in the world, you start learning about history and you start learning that certain things were lies and you wake up. But what I notice is that we willingly wake up to certain concepts and how we have to discard certain ideologies, but others, because they trigger us, we hold on to, thereby entrapping ourselves in this matrix. So it's fascinating to me that, we were here minding our business at some point, and our DNA at some point was manipulated, and now we have the species we know today as human. Now, to me, there are other forms on this earth that coexist with us, and a lot of people have encountered them. Not me, but other people. But when it comes to the human race, if whites, blacks, Spanish, Asians, Africans, Indians, everywhere, all over the globe, if the majority of us were not humans, we wouldn't be able to procreate. You have to be the same species in order to have children. I cannot mate with a bird and expect to have a baby. Okay. So we wake up to the fact that this whole world is a lie, it's an illusion, it's Maya, right? So we start to uncover that, some of us came from fantastic lineages. Some of us originated in the Americas. Maybe America was Africa, maybe Africa was little America. We really don't know. We just know what a lot of historians and scholars have stated, okay? And so we also know that the origin of man is very murky at best. We read the Bible. We know what the Bible says. We read other ancient texts. We see how we were formed. And, some people will say that there was a mad scientist called Yakub who did all of this gene splicing. And then at some point, we start to study, and we encounter the reality that we're more than our physical body. Okay, so now this is taking us into jumping into dimensions. Okay, because I'm not my body. I do not die. I mean, back in the 1950s and 20s, there were writers, authors talking about the fact that we are spirit and we don't die. It's energy, it doesn't die. Okay, so now that we learn we're more than spirit, we start to learn how to eat better. I'm not going to go into veganism. You know, if you want to eat whatever you wish to eat, you are the ruler of your temple. So I'm not going to into that. But yes, we do start to think, okay, let's get out in nature. We need to ground. We need to drink water. We need to exercise. You know, take care of our temples. And because we know that we are more than our body, we start to pay attention to our spirit. Okay, so here we go. Organized religion is a lie. There's so much chaos and hurt and secrecy and lies that exist in organized religion. It doesn't do a lot of people any good. Some people need religion because if there wasn't some fictional God telling them how to behave, they would just be madmen. But for the most part, when people wake up, they're like, oh my God, I'm never going back to church again. It's a lie. Now, I've kind of come full circle with that because the more you study, the more you see that you're really supposed to chew the meat, spit out the bones. And I would say at this point in my life, I figured out that we all need to be Christ-like. If we only had a hint of illumination like Christ, the Christos had. Now, whoever Christ is for you, okay? We're not going to debate that here. And so we learn now that we may be boxed in, we may be finite, but we learn that we are not. We're infinite beings, and we have to come out of these boxes and these labels. Some people believe in reincarnation. Some people believe that if you don't develop and evolve into your higher self, which is what all of this waking up is about, if you don't evolve, you're going to come back again and again. Some people choose to come back because they like to play the game or they have a purpose, you know, to help humanity. But others of us, we're supposed to go on, but we keep getting recycled here because we're trapped by our emotion. We keep fighting. We're resistance fighters. We think we're supposed to fight against the matrix. So fight tyranny, you know, pull the government down, fight your neighbors, whites against blacks, fight, fight, fight. All you're doing is giving it energy. That's all. You know, so many spiritual people think they're not supposed to have money, so they fight against the rich. And every poor person blames the government or the man for still being in poverty instead of learning how to manifest their best abundant life. And these are the things that will get you trapped. So why is it that we can wake up to the fact that TV, for the most part, is a story? So unless you're into decoding the story, most people probably have to wean themselves off TV. We wake up to the fact that time doesn't exist the way it's been explained to us. And time now becomes more precious on how I spend my time, because time is energy, it's currency, right? It's an electrical impulses. So now I'm careful about how I spend my time. So I may not want to plug away and be a slave at a corporation all day. Or maybe I do. Or maybe I just want to jaunt around the globe, planting trees. Whatever it is, you want to wake up to your purpose, okay? You become aware of who you are, who you were created to be. You have a greater purpose than just sitting somewhere wasting away. So you're here to evolve to become that best version of self. And that means you have to let go of hurt and pain and things that bring you down. It's not to say that these things don't exist, because we still are in the matrix, right? But it's how you deal with it. So anyway, I said all of that to say, the next time you're being triggered over something that has nothing to do with you, ask yourself, is this really worth me coming back here for the second, third, fourth? Some of y'all have reincarnated generations because you refuse to let go. Anyway, thank you for your time today. Comment below. Let me know what you're doing to make sure that you don't come back Make sure your generations aren't coming back. And if they're coming back, you're laying up wealth for them. You're creating open hearts and minds. You're teaching them how to manifest with thought. Comment below. Let me know what you think. And as always, Om Shrim Vrazi.